Well, despite the outcome, team fought hard. And this is just a tough one to swallow. Bears lose 22-29 against the Minnesota Vikings on the road in Minnesota. Really weird fun fact. I know this is really weird that the Bears are playing in Minnesota this early in the season. Well, it's warranted because this is the first time the Bears play in Minnesota on the road, not in a month named December or in the last couple of days of November, since 2006. So this is a very, very... the fact that we're in Minnesota this early is something that hasn't happened literally a decade and a half. And I'm here for it because I swear the Bears are always out of it when they go to Minnesota because it's been the last game of the year for a long time. Either that or last couple weeks of the year. So they're pretty much out of it at that point. So it's like I don't really remember I don't really have any memories of the Bears playing the Vikings on the road. I'm honestly really glad about this because now the Bears get to host the Vikings at the end of the season. Not like it's going to matter, but, I thought that was kind of cool about this because, frankly, I'm tired of seeing the Bears and the Vikings in Minnesota in the last week of the year when the Bears are, 5-11, Like, the game means nothing. So I like the fact that this game means something. This game, the Bears were projected to get their teeth kicked in. No one gave them a shot to win. And rightfully so. The team hasn't looked any good. Offense has looked terrible through 4 weeks. And the Vikings they've had their moments offensively, but they still have Justin Jefferson, who is arguably the best receiver in the league. And Kirk Cousins doesn't really need it. He's a good quarterback. Kirk Cousins is a serviceable quarterback for Minnesota, and they're playing very well with him. And for the first quarter and a half, it really did look like this was going to go exactly as expected, with Kirk Cousins throwing completions on his first 17 or 18 passes. The dude was hitting passes left and right. Bears defense couldn't stop anything, and the Vikings jumped out to a 21-3 lead about halfway through the second quarter. And here I am sitting, oh boy, here we go. This is exactly what we all expected from this game. If this game gets further out of hand and it gets to the fourth quarter, and it's 38-10, I'm just making the reaction right now. I don't need to watch the fourth quarter. Because the Bears offense has just looked like it always has. When they need to score points, they can't score points. But things changed in this game a little bit. Sometimes you need that one play that shifts the momentum for the entire game. And it came via Darnell Mooney. After the Vikings had a terrible punt that I think it had a net of 5 yards on the punt. It was awful. Bears got great field position at midfield. And on the first play of the drive, Bears coming off, by the way, of 2 straight drives that lasted 6 plays or less, and were both punts. First play, Fields takes a shot from midfield, fires it up for grabs for Darnell Mooney, and oh my gosh, he probably made one of the catches of the year. One of the best catches by a Bears receiver I have seen in a long time. Acrobatics. What a catch by Darnell Mooney. And it sets the Bears up at the Minnesota 10-yard line. You can hear on the broadcast from Adam Amin and Mark Schlereth. Both were just sitting in awe of how amazing this catch from Darnell Mooney was. And the Bears have squandered a lot of these opportunities with a great fluky kind of play. They get down in the red zone and they either settle for 3 or turn the ball over. But not this time. They punch it in from 9 yards out. David Montgomery gets the Bears into the end zone. That's a huge, huge score before halftime because the Bears get the ball to start the second half. Now, yes, that ball was a bit overthrown from Justin Fields, but you got to give credit to the catch, man. That is an unbelievable catch, a potential catch of the year candidate, and oh my goodness. And that was the play that brought the Bears back in this game. Now, one thing when I watch a game that I am antsy for right before even the kickoff begins is who gets the ball to start the game. I love it when the Bears get the ball to start the second half, because especially in a situation like this, it can prove very important to helping a team like the Bears get back in a game, because the team, they're not great, and they find themselves down a lot in halftime. So getting the ball to start the second half and capitalizing on that can be very important, especially if you score right before halftime. You can get pretty much 14 points without the other team touching the ball. And that's virtually what the Bears did, because they get the second half kickoff and drive it to the end zone for a touchdown. This team had a great opening drive to start the second half. Justin Fields looked really good, hit two great passes to Ihmir-St. Brown and Colt Kmet before a little shovel toss to a receiver that counts as a pass for a touchdown to Velus Jones Jr., the third-round draft pick out of Tennessee, who fumbled the game away against the Giants. Redeems himself quite a bit here, makes his first career catch, and it goes for 6 from 9 yards out. Bears score again, and just like that, it's a one-possession game. So with Kirk Cousins barely seeing the ball, the Bears get within one score. They get two of the 3 scores they need back. And well, they rolled the dice a little bit here. They went for 2. Didn't work. Was not a huge fan of that call from Ihmir-Smith, but they got the momentum. They tried to make it a field goal game. A good pass from Fields to Dante Pettis, but the defender read it perfectly, and there was no chance for Pettis to even think about scoring. Now, I understand that kind of philosophy. You want to roll the dice a little bit, get yourself into the game to the point where you only need a field goal to tie the game. But then this next call was very interesting, and I thought wasn't a terrible call. Matt Eberflus decides to go for an onside kick and try to catch the Vikings off guard, but he doesn't. Someone was able to read that and pick up the loose ball before the Bears could jump on it, and well, it's just how it is. That's a tough break for the Bears, and I'm going to be honest, I was, right after it happened, I wasn't fuming or really upset that they didn't get it. I was like, I understand the philosophy. You have all the momentum. Why not just try and get yourself another possession to go down and score again? That didn't happen, but the Vikings ended up not scoring on that drive as Greg Joseph would miss a field goal. So that actually helped. Joseph missed 2 50-plus yard field goals, one at the end of the half and one right there on the possession that the Vikings got in great field position after the missed onside kick. And, well, the Bears don't let any points up with the missed onside kick. On the ensuing drive, the Bears would score a field goal. Gutsy drive. They'd get to within 2. It's 19-21 at this point. Oh, boy. If you told me the Bears were going to be within 2 points of time this game after it was 21-3, and they'd score 16 unanswered points at that point, I would have thought you were crazy. But the Bears have looked better in the second half of games this year, for sure. Overall throughout the season, I think. And those big examples being San Francisco and this one, where they were able to put in a lot of points, actually, in the second half after being practically shut out in the first half. They've actually outscored their opponents pretty well in the second half this season. Unfortunately, their defense comes through, but the offense has not rebounded in the same way. So that's why some of these games they really could have won if the offense could have helped out with the defense. But the offense really did play very well in the second half. This was an offensive second half for the Bears, and they played really well. And the defense got its chance to shine as well, as after that missed field goal from the Vikings and then the field goal from the Bears, the next Vikings drive would see Kirk Cousins overthrow Justin Jefferson on a 4th down that got negated and turned into a 1st down after a holding penalty. Not a pass interference. If it was a pass interference call, I would have been really upset. But it was a holding call, and if you look at it, it's a bit close, but can't do it. First down, Minnesota. I think it was literally the first play after the penalty where Kirk Cousins, looking for Adam Thielen, gets intercepted by Kindle Vildor. And that's going to be a great confidence booster for Vildor because these past couple of years, he has been the quarterback to be picked on this Bears defense. Has been picked on by every quarterback that we faced because they know if they can get that mismatch with their top receiver on Kindle Vildor, they're gonna work an easy completion for some good yardage. So seeing Vildor step up and get that play and make that interception, was super happy to see that. And overall, I think Vildor just had a pretty good game. The secondary played pretty well, despite the absence of Jalen Johnson. So on the ensuing drive, Dave Montgomery gets the first carry and goes nowhere. The very next play, Justin Fields rolls out, decides to run for it. Makes a great cut, and then all of a sudden he's out in the open that's all green grass, and he scores a touchdown. There is a flag on the field. Oh my gosh! So the Bears get penalized with an illegal block in the back from Ihmir-Smith Marset, which, yeah. Dantzler sold it a little bit, but you know what? Can't do it. It's a penalty. And thankfully it was a penalty from the spot of the play, and it was a repeat of the down, so the Bears still technically gained 3 yards in the play and didn't lose a down. And they would end up being able to kick a field goal on the drive and take the lead 22-21, 19 unanswered points, and somehow in the fourth quarter, down 18 in the middle of the second quarter, the Bears have the lead and have held the Vikings to nothing. A missed field goal, 2 missed field goals, and an interception since the punts that got the Bears the momentum shift. It's insane how the Bears were able to turn this around after having an abysmal first quarter and a half with Kirk Cousins just absolutely tearing them apart. Seemed like he couldn't make a mistake. But the Vikings, realizing they're now trailing, execute a great drive that was all about the third down conversion. The Bears, as time ticked away, could not get a third down stop on this drive to save their lives. On the Vikings' ensuing drive after the Bears took the lead, they converted 5 third downs on the drive. 5. And were able to milk the clock as much as they could to score as late as they could to give Justin Fields and the Bears as little time to rebound and score a touchdown. And, you know, I was just wanting them to hold them to a field goal because that would have made things so much easier. The Bears defense couldn't buy themselves a third down stop. And, well, Vikings would convert on 2-point conversion. Kirk Cousins finds Justin Jefferson. And the Bears now trail 29-22. Before I move on, can I just say that Justin Jefferson was absolutely unbelievable in this game? In the first half, at least. Like, dude had over 100 receiving yards. I think he had like 10 receptions. Just absolutely tore this defense apart. The defense made some good halftime adjustments and held them to about 30 yards, I think, in the second half. Around that marker, give or take 5-10 yards. And they did a pretty good job, but he got that 2-point conversion. It was key. Almost had a touchdown in like the first 5 minutes, I think. That was taken away, and it was pretty much given to Dalvin Cook. So he pretty much got to a touchdown, but he played fantastic again. So with a little under 2.5 minutes left, the Bears have a chance, down 7, to lead a game-time drive. This was a huge drive for Justin Fields. And he started the drive out really well. Completes a pass to Montgomery. He gets out of bounds. And they go back up. Montgomery, again, gets a first down, and they take it down to the 2-minute warning. And then in the next play, the first play after the 2-minute warning, Fields gets under pressure, escapes one guy, can't escape another. He fumbles the ball. Bears get on top of it, keeps the drive and the game alive. But now, second and very long. So it's 2nd and 21, yet Justin Fields is able to find and dish it to Montgomery, who works his way and picks up a first down, picks up the 21 yards exactly that they need for the first down, picks it up, and the Bears, they look really efficient on this drive. I mean, even with the fumble and they got it back, they still recovered all that penalty yardage and then some and picked up the first down in one play. I mean, they looked really good. I was feeling pretty confident they may actually go down and score and tie the game. But on the very next play after the 2nd and 21 conversion, Fields fires to Ihmir-Smith Marset, his first catch of the game. Makes a great move to escape the inbounds tackle. But Smith Marset tries to play hero ball and fights for those extra couple of yards instead of just going out of bounds. And he pays the ultimate price. Smith Marset, as he's going down to the ground, has the ball stripped by Dantzler. And he runs down and ends this game. This is a deflating loss, the way that this ended. Man, I have no words. Bears looked solid in the second half offensively. I was really impressed with the halftime adjustments they made offensively. Justin Fields looked really good in the second half. Again, did not turn the ball over here. Had the fumble in the last 2 minutes. They got it back. But did not turn the ball over. Fields was sacked twice in this game for about 15 yards. But he threw for over 200 yards, which is, I think, a season high. 15 out of 21. And a passer rating of 118.8. Fields had a great passer rating. He had a great day. And 2 of those 6 incompletions should have been catches, but were dropped by Dante Pettis. Both came in the first half. Didn't see the ball again all day, and rightfully so. You cannot drop 2 passes in the first half of this game. And it really hurt the offense in the first half because there was a surefire 3rd down conversion that Pettis dropped. I think that was one of them. But, yeah, Fields, he looked good in the second half. I really liked what I saw. And I say that because it's the best he's looked all year. Played pretty dang well, especially compared to the last 2 weeks. Again, it's nowhere near the level that I think he needs to be a consistent starting quarterback. But with a 118 passer rating, it's not bad. And, frankly, considering how he looked in week 3, it's pretty good right here. It's pretty good. I think he had a passer rating under 30 against the Texans. So this is a massive improvement. And right now, with the Bears, it's kind of what we need. Because, again, we're not looking to go anywhere. We aren't going to go anywhere this year. But we have a chance to play spoiler in a couple games. This is a perfect example of one where we almost actually played spoiler. San Francisco, we did play spoiler. This one was close. And Fields looked the best he's looked all year in the second half. If I'm the Vikings, that's a scary, scary game. It really shouldn't have been this close. Should have been able to put it away when it was 21-3. And I'll give the Bears credit. They fought, and they didn't give up when they were down 18. They didn't give up. And I know this just sounds like me just trying to find glass half full type of stuff, but that's what I have to do. The team has been so bad for so long. They had 2018, but that season ended awfully in heartbreaking fashion. And it's like, I need to just find something, anything to feel good about. And if Justin Fields has a great second half and has over 115 passer rating, it's a win in my book because the team's not going anywhere. I know they lost, but they played well. If they were in that game against Houston and Jacksonville, which ended in 13-6, they would have easily dominated one of those teams with this performance. So, I mean, I know they lost, and that doesn't change anything. But they looked the best they had been all year. The running game was why we won against the Texans. And you can say that Justin Fields had a couple great throws in the second half against San Francisco, but that was pretty much the reason why we won, because it became a monsoon. This was in a dome, no elements to be played with, and Fields looked good. It was the best he looked all year. And I'm trying to have a positive outlook because, again, there are no expectations from me. I don't expect them to go to the playoffs. I don't even expect them to win 8 games. They may win 5. They may win 4. They may not win another game for the rest of the year. But if they play with grit, and if they play like this and don't quit when they get down 18 points, those games will look way different when the talent gets better, because the talent is not there. And that's the biggest problem with the team. Fields has his moments, but like we saw with Pettis dropping 2 passes, and we saw with some other players last couple of weeks, the players surrounding Fields aren't helping him. So I'm trying my best to have a more positive outlook on this season, because it's been a long year, and frankly, a lot of people were expecting this to be like a major blowout. And the fact that the team came back and even had a lead at one point, I was pretty happy to see. And again, it's progress. And I know Fields is in year 2. We should see more progress, but right now with the weapons he's got, I don't know if we can see like that big next step. I need to see a little bit more. And I would love to see Justin Fields progress some more here on the short week against Washington. Up next. So yeah, Bears get wonderful Thursday night football against the Washington Commanders at home. They're going to be rocking the alternate unis. They're going to be rocking the orange jerseys. And for the first time, they'll have the alternate orange helmets. So they're going with an all orange out against the Commanders at home. It's going to be on prime time. I mean, hey, it can't get worse than the Thursday night football game this week, right? I mean, if the offense looks anything like they did against Minnesota in the second half here, I feel pretty confident about them going to go home and beat Washington. And honestly, even if it's like a 31-17 game, it's still going to be better than the 12-9 overtime snooze fest we saw in Denver on Thursday this week. Yeah, even if the game is like 3 scores, it's still going to be more entertaining because at least someone will find the end zone in this one, I'm sure of it. While the Bears offense did make some strides and look better than the best they've looked all year, there's still things that need to be worked on because they scored 3 field goals, and while Santos is a great kicker, hitting 250-plus yarders in this one, I'd love for them to find the end zone on some of those drives. Please find the end zone more than twice a game. I mean, they scored 5 times, though 3 of them were field goals. Vikings only scored 4 times. They were all touchdowns. And that's why it was a 1-possession, 7-point game going to the final possession. So if the Bears can find ways to turn those field goal drives into touchdowns, that would be great. But with Washington next, it's going to be a winnable affair. Bears, I'm excited to see what they do on Thursday. Hope they get the win, man. Seeing them at 3-3 6 weeks through the year would be pretty nice. And then after that, they'll have the full Thursday to the next Monday rest. So I think that's 10 days of rest. Pretty much almost a second bye week before they go out to Gillette Stadium and play the Patriots. So, and the way the Patriots have looked this season, this could be a more competitive game than I was expecting at the beginning of the year. Because, well, while New England looked really good against Detroit, They pushed Green Bay all the way to overtime. I was really impressed with how New England's looked the last 2 weeks. So maybe a bit more difficult than we think. But, I mean, you get the 10 days rest, I think they'll put up a fight. So yeah, Washington next week. Can the Bears get to 3-3 back to 500? It's the first time this year they're under 500. It took them 5 weeks to get there. So yeah, can we get back to 500? I would love to see it. So that is going to do it for this one. If you like this reaction, please hit that like button and then hit that subscribe button if you want to see more reactions from me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.